a survey here. I said, there's enough of you in here to know who I am. Yeah. And if you're really good, you know, country people, you got grandbabies in here that know who I am. When we first started the show, we would go out and, you know, do concerts and stuff, and I would have young men come to the table and say, my grandma or my grandpa makes me watch you on the air. Now, I really couldn't say what I was thinking because when I first started Hee Haw, I was a hippie kid. Okay, they had no idea who they got hold of. They didn't. Somebody there did. But now, after all these years, I have these little tiny kids coming up like this, saying, I saw you on Hee Haw. And behind that baby is standing that daddy that used to be that little boy that said, my grandpa made me watch it. So I want to say thank you to all the grandpas in the house, all the daddies in the house, and all the little kids that are watching us still. I've changed a bit. I've lost, at one point I lost almost 200 pounds. I've found about 30 of it. I'm not looking for any more. I'm not, and I had black hair with long pigtails, okay? And, you know, you get a certain age, and I said, you know, listen guys, old fat women with wrought iron black hair don't last very long. So I said, I'm gonna change my hair color, and they said, what are you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna go red. They said, oh no, you're not. I said, oh yeah, I am. So they said, go do it and then come back. So I did, and first thing they did was throw me in the studio and sit me up in front of the camera. Of course, the red hair just went. And they said, that's nice. So, you know, people have not seen me most of the time, you know, all of your life. So I say, when I get people say, when did you change the hair? Well, I've been wearing this hair like this for goodness sakes, at least 25 years. So now I'm a redhead, y'all. You want to hear the good part? I'm a natural blonde. That's why I worked out so well. I just found the color bottle long before anybody else did. So now I'm the ribbon. Anyway, I want to say thank you for having us with you today. I want to encourage you and invite you to come back this evening, okay? I'm just going to do a tiny little bit this morning, and then you guys come back tonight, okay? Bring your friends with you. Run up down the street and say, if you watch Hee Haw, that fat girl's going to be at church tonight. Come see her. And then what you do is you think of every question you can think of that you want to ask me, and maybe I'll let you ask me tonight, okay? I used to say there's two you don't ask. They both involve numbers. Think with me. One of them I don't care about much anymore because I've lost almost 200 pounds. The other one is, you know, you get to a place where it's just like, okay, so like, I'm 68 years old, y'all. I'm still breathing. I'm really thankful. So I've got a remarkable story to tell, I do. I'm just going to take a few minutes this morning, and I'm going to sing one song for you. First of all, let me ask you, how many of you have not, have not heard my story? Yippee! Y'all, I can talk better than I can sing. This could be a problem. I have a remarkable story, I do. And it's taken me many years to really come to the place that I realize that the reason that I have this story is to do what I'm doing right here this minute. And that is standing up before a group of people to get the privilege and the honor to tell you that God is alive. That his son Jesus moves between us every day. He does. I was born in a home for unwed mothers. And shortly after that, dumped into an orphan's home, and that's where I spent my entire childhood, was in an orphan's home. I'll tell you a whole lot more about that later this evening. But I did not tell people that for many years because I was embarrassed. It was bad enough that I was a fat kid, but they fat awful too, you know. Along with that stigma comes, you know, nobody will love me. And then I also got told all of my life, you're fat and you're ugly and no one will ever love you. And you look in the mirror long enough and you believe it. And you don't have to be fat. You can be thin. You can have a big nose or funny toes. Just whatever the enemy will use against you to put your heart to death, he will try it every day. You have to learn that in order to be strong enough to shut his mouth, you got to get in the Word of God and stay in there. Because that's where the strength comes. That's where the power comes from. Comes from the Word of God, it does. Well, I have sung now for about 42 years or so. The best thing about this is that I've never had a voice lesson. I don't read music. And I don't rehearse unless somebody makes me. So what you hear coming out of me came from my Father. And I realize he's given me an awesome gift. I am so grateful to get to do what I do, y'all. I am. I had a questionnaire one time on something that said, what is your dream job? You know what I wrote down? Singer. I've moved around this big old country for a long time now. Sung a lot of songs. Most of the time, wherever I go, there's one song that everybody wants to hear me sing. A song called Amazing Grace. And I can remember as a child, we were made to go to church every time they opened the doors. And we always had to sing that one song, Amazing Grace. And I can remember as a kid, y'all, thinking to myself, I wonder what that means. Amazing grace? What is that? You see any grace around me? Had a lot of definitions, I guess I could say, that people have given me over the years. But I think I've found the best one there is yet. So I'm going to share it with you this morning. If you're someone who writes stuff down, get your pencil, because this is good. Grace is the empowering presence of God in our lives that enables us to be who he has called us to be so that we can do what he has called us to do right where we are. I have so many people come to the table back there after a concert and say, I'm a nobody. What can I do? I said, you can stand there and smile, honey, and be Grace. I am the Walmart queen. I am. I'm serious. Everybody in my store knows who I am. Hey, Blue, how you doing? I love to go to Walmart because I love to observe people. Have you seen those Walmart pictures floating around on the internet? Oh my gosh. I would never thought to say that in church, ever. I wouldn't have gone. Anyway, I love Walmart. Went in there, sat down one day, a little lady came up and sat down next to me. I said, how you doing? She looked at me, she said, what you doing talking to me? I said, well, I just want to say, how you doing? Good morning. She said, ain't nobody talk to me. I went home and I thought, wow, that's really sad. I'll guarantee you, y'all, that you're going to pass someone probably every day of your life. Maybe in a Walmart, maybe not, who has not heard a human voice in a week or a month or maybe longer. Just say, good morning. God bless you. Something. You'll catch a smile for that. You will. You've made somebody's heart grateful and you've been a big chunk of grace for God's love. So just remember, grace is the empowering presence of God in our lives that enables us to be who He has called us to be, so that we can do what He has called us to do right where we are. Don't have to be a performer. Don't have to be a singer. Don't have to be a pastor. Don't have to be a choir director. Just be a ray of light. That's Christ. And to my mind, that's that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, oh, but now I am found. I was so blind, but now I see. And it was grace that taught this old heart to feel. And don't you know it's grace that feels relief? And oh, how precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. And when we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we know there's days all we're gonna sing is a wonderful praise. And when we first begun, we know less days all we're gonna sing is a wonderful praise. Than when